I'm Tia Borden with MiningIR. Beside me is Cooper, president of Canterra Minerals. Cooper, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks. It's good to be here.
Are you enjoying the conference so far?
Yeah, it's really good to be back with actual live human interactions.
With people.
Exactly.
Can you tell us a little bit about the company and where you're located?
Yeah, sure. So we're a gold exploration company focused on our Wilding Lake project in central Newfoundland. So we're directly along strike from kind of the big player in the region there is Marathon Gold. And company's been drilling away since about 2021. And yeah, just in that gold exploration stage, still fairly early stage, but I think we got some pretty promising projects.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your flagship project?
Sure. So at Wilding, we just completed about 4,000 meters of drilling there last month. So expecting assays there. We got about kind of the most promising prospect at Wilding Lake there. We've got about 1.3 kilometers of strike length at a target we call Red Ochre. And then several other gold targets in and around there. You're looking at some lower grade, wide intervals of mineralization similar to Marathon Gold. And then at our Elm and Alder prospects, we have some narrow, high grade mineralization as well.
Tell us a bit about the mining jurisdiction.
Newfoundland's great. It's been really, really nice to work in there. Previous to Canterra, I worked for a company in Nova Scotia. So, kind of all out in that.
People there.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Atlantic Canada folks are absolutely phenomenal. The local town of Millertown's been really great to work in. And it's just been overall really friendly. The government's really, the minerals people at the department there are great to work with. And they're just really good salt of the earth folks that really want to, see the economy in the province succeed.
Cooper, do you plan to return to the capital markets in the near term?
We don't have any immediate plans to raise. No, we've got about $1.8 million in the treasury at the moment. That's all hard dollars, so that gives us a good amount of runway here to do what we need to do. The markets are tough right now, obviously, as everyone at this show is well aware. So happy to be in a position with that treasury where we don't need to go back to the market immediately here.
Cooper, what sets you apart from other mining companies?
I think we've got a lot going for us, really. If you look at the broader Canadian picture, there's not a lot of areas that you can go do work in that are relatively underexplored and still have great infrastructure. So we have that. We can drive to the project, which gives us a lot of advantages over, helicopters are quite expensive and things like that. And then, zoom in a little bit and we're directly along strike from what I'd say is the most advanced project there. We're looking at Marathon Gold, which is the largest undeveloped gold deposit in Atlantic Canada with about 4.8 million ounces and expanding. They'll be looking to put that into production next year. We're directly adjacent to that along the structure. So kind of at a large scale and a small scale, I think we have a lot of competitive advantages over some other folks.
And what are some catalysts that investors should be aware of over the next few months?
We'll have drill results coming out soon from the program there in the winter. We're doing a bunch of, maybe what we're really focused on this summer is doing the groundwork and taking the science and taking the steps through for our technical team just to see success at the drill bit. So geophysics program is ongoing. We've got a regional geochemistry program ongoing. And while those might not be the most exciting things in the world to investors, I'd say they should look for companies taking those critical steps and not just trying to throw darts at the board to pick their drill holes. So look for those drill hole results. We're quite excited on that. Keep an eye on Marathon Gold, and they're waiting on their final federal permitting before they break ground there. And then we'll keep charging ahead at Wilding Lake and Noel Paul there, and hopefully have some exciting prospects from the earlier stage exploration we're doing at Noel Paul, and keep following up on the great drill results so far we've had at Wilding.
And what's your PDAC messaging? What do you want investors to know?
Investors should, what do I want investors to know? I'd say there's a lot of companies here, and there's a lot of projects here that have been around for quite a while. And so taking a look at the team is really, really vital, and who's involved, and do they have a good mix of technical people, capital markets people, communications people. All that's really, really vital for any of these companies to be ultimately successful. And then take a look at what companies are doing on the ESG side and the CSR side, because I think as we move forward here in the mining world, there's no license and there's no permitting without social license, and that comes from a global scale and that comes from a local community scale.
Cooper, thank you so much for joining me today.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Tia. Have a good rest of the show.